U.S. District Judge Claudia Wilken presided over a pivotal hearing in Oakland, California, to consider final approval of a multi-billion-dollar settlement in 3 antitrust cases against the NCAA and Power 5 conferences. The proposed deal includes nearly $2.8 billion in damages over 10 years, primarily benefiting football and men's basketball players, while also allowing schools to pay athletes directly for name, image, and likeness, nil, rights starting July 1st. Judge Wilken expressed skepticism about several aspects of the settlement, particularly its impact on future athletes who aren't yet in college. She questioned whether it was fair to bind future players to terms negotiated today, asking, "Can you release claims for things that haven't occurred yet?" Objectors argued that future athletes should have separate legal representation rather than being lumped into the current class. Another major concern was the proposed roster limits, which could force thousands of athletes off teams. Utah swimmer Gannon Flynn testified that athletes are already being pressured to transfer or quit outright due to impending cuts. High school runner Gracelyn Loudermilch, appearing without a lawyer, emotionally pleaded, "No one can explain why roster limits are good for anyone. Our futures are in your hands." LSU gymnast Olivia Dunne, a prominent social media influencer, criticized the damages model, saying her compensation doesn't come close to recognizing the value I lost. She accused the plaintiff's lawyers, who stand to earn up to $775 million in fees, of mishandling data. Former Washington football player Ben Burke-Irvin also objected, arguing the settlement undervalued his contributions compared to less accomplished athletes. Title IX concerns were raised, with objectors arguing that if schools had been allowed to pay athletes earlier, gender equity laws would have applied. However, Judge Wilken seemed unmoved, stating, "We can't solve all these problems retrospectively." The NCAA's lawyer, Rakesh Kalaru, defended the settlement, claiming roster limits were necessary to balance revenue sharing. But Wilken pushed back, suggesting a phased approach to avoid abruptly cutting current athletes. No ruling was issued today. If approved, the settlement would reshape college sports, replacing scholarship limits with roster caps and giving conferences more control over nil deals. But with strong objections from athletes and legal hurdles remaining, the future of the deal remains uncertain.